that's going to segue perfectly into this Ravens-Lions game. Everything was clicking on all cylinders behind Zay Flowers. And, literally everything. Yeah. And I think we have a certain clip where the Ravens just were manhandling the Detroit Lions, so to speak.
Yeah, it really was just at some points, just in the trenches, it was a different animal. Just the physicality, you could just tell the Ravens were anything they wanted, run, pass. You're dominating a team as you see Ronnie Stanley just cooking pancakes on a Sunday morning.
He's cooking pancakes. Look, all right, let's just rewind this real quick. I know that you're in the middle of a thought there, Zach, but this is why I said Ronnie Stanley was running past the studio. He just my God. Look, Ronnie was holding people all day long. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
But that play right there was a holy shit moment. He was cooking pancakes.
Yeah, that was
Pancake
Michael
that
Orr.
guy.
That was Michael Orr. He's just lucky the fence wasn't there. If there was a fence, he was getting put over it.
That was some Forrest Gump shit.
But that's the moment. I think even Ronnie Stanley said after the fact, he's like, I knew Marshall Yonder was in the building, so I had to have my mean streak put on there. And look, I think it was safe to say, he blocked until he heard the whistle or he saw the whole team in the end zone. I don't know what it was, but the Ravens just felt like they were going to try to come punch the Lions in the mouth, which was the Lions' MO so far this season. David Montgomery embodied a lot of that. He was out, and everyone thought maybe this Detroit Lions team with the Fighting Dan Campbells who want to bite your kneecap off, we're going to come and kind of punk the Ravens in Baltimore. And no one's punking the Ravens in Baltimore, especially that defense right now, guys.
Yeah.
That defense since Roquan Smith came to Baltimore has been no joke. The offense got the headlines. Lamar Jackson, sensational. Odell got involved. Rashad Bateman had some big catches. Zay Flowers continues to be Zay Flowers, but that defense has been absolutely lights out.
And we keep on comparing this team, I guess not keep on, recently after yesterday's success. This team's very reminiscent of the feeling of 2019. But the biggest difference is, like we just talked about, it's the defense. And I think it starts with Roquan. They have somebody out there who is the leader, who makes sure we don't see any of those communication issues as much anymore. He seems to always have guys ready to go in the right positions. And that kind of felt like it was missing in 2019. They didn't have that defensive leader that could come and step up and make that massive play. Yeah, you had the Marcus Peters coming in, big interception, but just out of, I guess, when you put it all together, what Roquan brings, not just on the field, but just that mentality, is such a different vibe to the defense than we've seen over the past few years.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I don't know if anybody noticed this. Did you guys see OBJ spitting in his helmet?
Yeah. Okay.
Was he actually spitting in his helmet?
Yeah, we had this debate. I don't
know.
Did you see it? Hold on, look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, he might have.
No.
All right, so
full spit shine.
That's what I was like, because some people were making arguments that maybe he was just
cleaning the
visor, or maybe there's grass.
Yeah, and he's
all the above.
Yeah, he's blowing air to try to get grass out.
Yeah,
I think it's more blowing the air, but spit shine happens. Baseball players, again, I go back to it. Can't tell you how many times players trying to get a grip.
What?
Yeah, I never want to touch another guy's batting gloves. By the way, that's a big no.
Because he puts his hand back in his helmet after he spits in it.
Yeah, he definitely is rubbing something.
Is that Odell Beckham? If you're watching this, confirm or deny if that's just you spitting in your helmet.
Give us a thumbs up if that's you spitting in the helmet.
I just thought that was kind of strange.
Hey, but if that's fine, another day we'll have superstitions. What happens? There is much, much worse I've seen with baseball. That can be for another time, story time. But Odell, was nice to see him get involved early in the game.
Yeah.
It was great to see him on the field. But we want to talk about the Ravens now have people around them where it's embodying them. We brought up having Odell brings a veteran presence, which I love. I love with Roquan Smith, the biggest thing is he brings a mentality to the team that has that killer instinct. It has that dog in him where he will go and say something and then he'll back it up. But then everyone around him goes, shit, if Zeroquan says it, it's going to happen. I believe it. So that's what we're seeing from this Baltimore Ravens team. And by the way, for everyone that was curious about how dominant this Ravens team has been, I did some notes on my drive back here. The Ravens have the most wins against teams that have a record of 500 or better right now. They got 4.
Yeah.
And that's against the Houston Texans, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Cleveland Browns, and the Detroit Lions. And you can go, well, Ryan, wait a minute. Rookie quarterback, Deshaun Watson's not playing. Well, the Browns just beat the 49ers, by the way, where
Deshaun didn't play.
Deshaun didn't play.
Yeah.
PJ.
So PJ Walker's squad.
PJ Walker.
But you guys want to guess? Well, you guys already seen it. But for everyone out there who hasn't seen the tweet, I'll put it out there in a little bit again. In those 4 wins, the Ravens are outscoring those teams with a winning record or 500 or better. They've outscored them 118-42. That's a plus 76 point differential. So the Ravens are beating good teams. The Lions, on the other hand, since beating the Kansas City Chiefs, they were beating up on teams they were supposed to beat up on, right? And I love the Lions, by the way. It's no knock to them. But I think that the conversation needs to switch to.
Hold on. I like the Lions as a team. There's fans out there that we kept the receipts, by the way.
Oh, yeah. The Lions fans were. It was almost like you said. It's something I've never seen before. Like,
I mean,
I didn't know this many Lions fans existed, and then they were all in like.
They're real salty about Justin Tucker.
Yeah,
they're real salty about Justin Tucker.
That's the only explanation I could have.
Banging 60-year-olds, by the way.
What a clip! We'll get into that. We'll show that clip later. But that's the only thing I could think about. Like,
I was shocked.
They were, and it felt like it had to be Tucker because this had been manifesting for years.
It's like personal for them.
Yeah, it was insane.
And even after the game, like they started talking about like, how many playoff wins does Lamar have?
Which is the craziest
thing. How many
thing
Super
I've
Bowls
ever
heard. do the Detroit Lions have?
Yeah, I know what guy you're talking about.
When's the last time they won a playoff game? One of us was in
Super Bowl.
One of us was in diapers, and I'm pretty sure it was you, Zach.
Yeah, it was
definitely Zach. On another note with it, because this was just to wrap this up with the Lions and Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach, we talked about this earlier. I really love Jared Goff in the sense where they said, hey, thanks for taking us to the Super Bowl in LA. We're going to ship you off to Detroit. That looked like this was an organization that was all on the downswing, that Jared Goff was going to be a bridge quarterback, and that was going to be it for his career, right?
Mm-hmm.
And instead, he resurrected his career. Dan Campbell brought energy, and I love how he's going out there and playing. Like, I want to see Jared Goff succeed, and I have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta. Guys are studs. But the fact that Jared Goff was ranked higher in the top 100 players over Lamar Jackson last year, and there was heads out there and social on the national media saying they would take Jared Goff over Lamar Jackson is insane to me.
Ryan Clark.
Yeah.
Ryan Clark said that. He said that right before this game happened.
Oh,
he trusted. I'm talking to you, Ryan. Yeah. He said that he trusted Jared Goff over Lamar Jackson before that Lions game. And then, look, what are we watching? I don't understand. I really truly feel like Ryan Clark. I know that you respond to shit. I think he actually responded.
Yeah, he responded.
If you respond to this week, because this is going to go up as a clip. Be honest. Do you say shit just to get clicks? Like, does all of ESPN say shit to just get clicks? We've now gone through Stephen A. Smith. We've now gone through Greeny also talked about how shitty I'm just going to pick the Ravens because everybody else picked the Lions. Like, what are we talking about? What are we not seeing? Like, I know that we're fans and I know we got bias, but at the same time, it's like, this feels very clear how good the Ravens and how good Lamar is. And it just took a while for everybody to click. And now that they're clicking, I can't wait to see what they do to the Cardinals next week. Yeah. And the narrative, I feel like, has to change at some point.
Well, I will say this. Ryan Clark, by the way, though, like, he does do a great job of analyzing, right? He breaks it down. He's got a great demeanor. The fact of it is for us is just, which side of the fence are we on? Yeah. You know, and that was the one thing of us seeing of going, well, if you're on the fence of like, you don't believe the guy, then great. But if you're also saying I was wrong, cool. Ryan Clark's always been a fan of Lamar Jackson of New Era 8.
Well, and that's just it. Like,
which is
say
even
that you were
weirder.
wrong. Like Stephen A. Smith was like, he tried to dismiss it as if the conversation didn't even happen. So if Ryan goes out and says, hey, I was wrong about Lamar last week, fine.
Yeah.
I respect that way more than just acting like you didn't say it.
And what makes Jared Goff more function, as I've watched more of his game, and they talked about it too. The Lions love to their offense, even though they pass a lot with Jared Goff, it's a lot of setting up their run game, which then sets up their play action pass. And Jared Goff's an extremely good quarterback out of play action, but when you can't run the football and you fall behind, you're going to come at Jared Goff, and he's going to have to figure out where the pressure's coming from. Mike McDonald is just calling up all sorts of schemes.
They pressured the shit out of him,
confusing the hell out of the team. So Jared Goff, just like with a lot of quarterbacks, you got to be in the right position. But Lamar Jackson, he's matchup proof in the sense that, yeah, you can say earlier in his career, you stacked the box. He was trying to figure things out, and you said he can only play a certain way. Lamar Jackson's beating you in every single way. That the only other quarterback that I can say that is Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts has some of that, and Josh Allen has that ability, but then Josh Allen also has the ability to make some decisions that you have no idea what's going on. But anyway, I digress. Two teams. I think the Lions are still going to win that NFC North.